there, so instead of showing us how you resolve the
Right,
issue.
so you're right.
Yeah,
So, she says, Miss Tina says, confirm overtime for 1 hour, confirm other tech time for 5. So, the way this project runs is, it's an on-site staffing project. So it's one where I get their times collectively every single day. They clock into me, they clock out to me, they sit there and they work, okay? So I already know what times they are, but what I would do is I would go back into my email if I didn't already know, and I would confirm those times, and then I would legit put something in the memo that said confirm tech times, 1.5 or 1 hour overtime confirmed, okay? And so then I would go and pull it out of Bill PV and then put it back on call close. Okay? So that's how you should do it.
so you would confirm it, and then you put that note and put the call close.
Right.
Okay, got it.
You can, I really wish.
You know, if you skip a step, my brain's gonna go, what?
So
What
if you
if
click
you
on the
What if you
technician's
shrink the
assignment-
page?
Hmm?
If you shrink the page, will it let you
No,
scroll?
I can't shrink it this way.
What is it you're trying to show?
Because you can't shrink it, you can shrink it down, pull it up, shrink it down, pull it up.
Okay, we're trying here. Alright, so I just clicked on the technician's date, the technician's status, right here. You guys can see it. I double clicked here and it brought me the new window. So she's coded as day shift. Her name is Isabel. Her schedule time, her tech times are updated. She does have a break in here. So these technicians have a lunch hour, right? So I always have to confirm that I've gotten their lunch hour. I'm gonna go to this one. I can mess around.
So the bin's full and pregnant.
So this is one where I have a technician assigned, or I have a technician assigned, but I don't have a technician. But I don't have any of their time, any of their information, right? So, sorry, I'm not the right one. Okay, so, Charlotte, to answer your question, if a technician calls you and says, hey, I don't want to go on this work order, okay? You're gonna have to do some math. 4 hours for break fix, 4 hours before the on-site time for break fix, you no-show. For projects, you shouldn't be working on a project, but if by chance you do, 48 business hours. So if he called on Saturday and his ETA is Monday, he still gets no-show, and it's a $200 penalty. Okay, we're clear? 48 business hours. So for us, it's 4 hours, whatever. So what I did is I right-clicked, and it's gonna give you these options, okay? And it's gonna say,
Wait, I have a question.
mhm.
48 business hours. What if he just got assigned that day and he realizes that he can't do it?
It's really unfortunate for him, he's getting charged
He's got
$200.
no show. $200 penalty. Yep.
It doesn't matter, when they go through the dispatch script, they're very specific. Now, I understand that we were within that 48-hour mark, so just so you're aware, if you redispatch off this ticket at any time, you are going to be charged $200, no show. They're very specific about it, they're very good about letting them know that they only have, they might have accepted it within that 48 hours, but they only have 48 hours to get off.
Hence, reading their manual and their installation guide.
They shouldn't have taken it if they weren't.
Exactly.
So then you're gonna go into escalate redispatch, okay? So, click. Is it not the 22nd yet? So for this ticket, what I'd have to do is like modify. This date should not be the 19th, it should be the,
Which date was that you clicked on?
the entry date.
Okay.
So I have to change the entry date on this one, because it's not showing that it's the correct day, like the correct week. So my ticket's auto open. I don't have to manually open them right now. My ticket's auto open from our system. And so they open a week early than they're supposed to. So I go back and I change the date, the entry date.
What I mean, Candace, as far as like time difference, because you know that BAM doesn't recognize if you're redispatching a ticket that's in Hawaii, but right now it's showing it's 1 o'clock.
Yes,
Does
it does.
Clearview recognize that your tech is in whatever time zone he's in? Or do you have to just do it basically by the time zone that it's
Yeah,
programmed
so-
to? Like BAM is programmed to Central Time.
So Clearview is all manual. So it's a lot of you saying, hey, you're within 48 business hours. It does recognize your time zone though, which screws up technicians sometimes when we screw up opening the call. Does that make sense, or does that answer your question, or no?
No, can you clarify?
Okay, so Clearview is manual. So you'll have, so for instance, if you're looking at your screen, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so for this one, for instance, you'll have escalate redispatch or penalty cancel ETA no-show. You have to manually decide if this is a $200 no-show fee or if this is a redispatch.
Okay.
So you have to take into account his time, like his time zone. You have to take into account how many business hours it's been since he's been assigned to you. You have a lot of manual activity in Clearview as opposed to BAM, which is pretty automated.
Okay.
Okay. So for
Makes
this,
sense. Thank you for clarification.
yeah. So for this one, you could say, you know, he no-showed, he didn't. So I would never do that to a person. Or you could say, hey, we're going to escalate over to redispatch. The way that you refresh a ticket is to go previous and then next. So we're back on that same ticket. I really am thrown off. I need to take a break for a few minutes. So we'll reconvene in about 15 and then we'll take lunch at noon, okay?